Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Saturday. Welcome inside Alexio Arena here in Taunton, Massachusetts. JJ Sylvia, Mike Alves, and Joey Frank along with you for this big matchup today between the Somerset Berkley Raiders and the Taunton Tigers. And gentlemen, we're going to talk a lot about both teams tonight, but this is a big night for the Taunton Tigers. They're celebrating all four of their seniors while also looking at a potential record-setting night for their head coach, Chris Mattia, who stands one win away from breaking the all-time wins record here at Taunton High.
Yeah, you know Taunton's players are going to come out firing immediately. I mean, they're going to be extra motivated to get that record for their coach. But, yeah, I think really Somerset needs to stay disciplined and stay out the box because a couple games ago they almost gave up their lead because they were in the box 4 times in the last 17 minutes of the game, and they were lucky to hold on. So it's going to be an interesting matchup between both teams tonight.
And Joey, let's talk a little bit about this 7-6 Raiders team. The ups and downs have been there this year. We're not seeing as much consistency in terms of winning as we've seen from teams in years past. But again, with a new head coach, how much can we expect when he's just getting his feet warm?
Yeah, I mean, with a new head coach, everybody's kind of getting used to it. You know, you're about halfway through the season, and we're starting to see some maybe small streaks where they go 2 wins, 2 losses. The last 5 games, they've had 4 wins. Let's hope to build on that and get another win. You know, 5 out of 6 is a good way to get to that second half of the season.
We're going to head down to the ice as the Senior Day festivities get underway, and we'll be right back here on Somerset Access TV, Berkley Community Access TV, and Blue Raider Studios. Don't go anywhere. 15 minutes up on the clock as we return here inside Alexio Arena. JJ Sylvia, Mike Alves, and Joey Frank along with you. And it's Senior Day here for the Taunton Tigers, celebrating 4 seniors on their roster: Braden LaChance, Jacob Pereira, Jacob Matters, and Noah Bloom, who I'm sure will all be impactful in one way or another in today's game. But gentlemen, this is one of those games that people in the area circle on their calendars every single year. Somerset versus Taunton. This is a heavyweight bout. Tyson versus Ali. Doesn't get much better.
Yeah, of course, John. And usually these schools are 2 of the better teams in the area, and they play each other multiple times a year. So every bout is usually a good fight, you know?
Let's meet the starting goaltenders for these 2 sides. First, for the hometown Taunton Tigers, it'll be Luke Pellerin, the 11th grader in between the pipes tonight, a 9-3-2 record with a 2.07 goals against average. And then on the other side, no surprise, it's Gavin Rodriguez, the senior, 6-4 record, coming in 2.16 goals against and a 928 save percentage. Somerset Berkley will send out the senior line to get us started. Adam Bastis, Cam McKenna, and Carter Sylvia out there. Diallo and Lush as the D pair. That one off the back of Sylvia, looking to dig for it against the wall. That one nudging just past Diallo before he slaps it back into the zone. Taunton countering with a unit that has had just about as much success as any line in all of hockey in this area to start this one. And they have plenty of prolific scorers up and down their lineup. Just to name a few: Braden Simmons, Jamie Valarelli, 2 guys that I'll be watching for to make big offensive impacts tonight over the line. A quick shot and a quick save off the firing from Braden Simmons for Gavin Rodriguez. So just to reiterate, gentlemen, I was talking earlier, Chris Mattia, 1 win away from breaking the all-time wins record in Taunton high school history, currently being held by Steve Matthews, who is the head coach of Taunton from 72 to 85. Here come the Raiders the other way. Lions, the shot, that one just wide of Pellerin on the blocker side. It rattles all the way back out to neutral ice.
I'd like to see him get that shot low there and look for a rebound.
That one nudged down and around to be chased. On the grab, Slaney looking to move it out in front. High slot shot. Rodriguez got a piece, and a whistle is blown.
And a problem, John, I see with the Raiders pretty often is, especially early in the game, they're not really finishing their checks. Like when they go in for a hit, it's kind of like a love tap, and I don't like the whole purpose of hitting somebody is to take them out of the play. And I just think the Raiders need to be extra aggressive, especially with the chippy team like Taunton.
Given the fact that this rivalry has developed into a very great one since Taunton entered the Prenda Cup a few years ago, physicality has become a vital part of winning a game when you're playing against either of these teams as the other. That one rattled around in Taunton's end as they looked to clear, kept in at the line by Lush trying to feed Camp Johnson, who had a big goal in SB's 2-1 win over one of the top-ranked teams in Division 4 in Sandwich just a few days ago. That was his first of the season, too, so couldn't have picked a better time to grab his first tally. And that win against Sandwich, one of those games that could have positive implications for the Raiders as they looked to make the state tournament with a sub-500 record. That one shoveled toward Rodriguez, but it never got to him. And De Silva will make sure it gets out. Cooper Royd's chasing in neutral ice before it's hammered right back into the Somerset end. Gonsalves on the gather. Gonsalves on the feed for Royds, and back to Gabe as he backhands it just over the line, getting help from Bastis before it's shoveled out of the Taunton end by Drew Nato. To grab it is Valarelli. He'll wrap it below. Gonsalves over to get it. Gabe mishandled it a bit, still able to get it out to center ice. Firing it back down is Braden Simmons, the second leading scorer on this Taunton squad at this point in the season. 14 goals, 10 assists to his credit. Not a lot of shots on goal thus far. Both these teams just feeling each other out. Haven't seen each other in a few months after that Prenda Cup matchup, but since then, a lot has changed for both teams. Taunton starting to establish some extended pressure, and I spoke too soon, dribbling back into their own end. Taking the turn is Valarelli. He'll go far up ice. On the move and firing is Simmons. And that one ending up in the protective netting.
I thought that was going bar down from Braden Simmons there. That was a good shot by him. Definitely can't let those guys that loose and going into the zone for sure. They almost caught Somerset on a change there.
Off the draw win, it's Lush. Was looking to go up for Lyons, couldn't make the connection. Lyons will dig for it on the wall before it's sent below by Pereira. Diallo to battle with Doherty below goal. Coming away with it is Camara, lost it in his feet. Diallo's gonna have to once again fight for it. Once more it's Camara, tries to tap it forward for himself, wasn't able to get it by Drew Nato. Raiders will try the other side. That one a bit mishandled there by Rebello. And finally, able to nudge it out into neutral ice is Camara.
Somerset's wingers are having a hard time helping the puck get out of the zone for sure. They're not strong on their sticks right now.
Noah Bloom rotating below goal, goes up the wall. On the move is Matos. Jacob Matos gets stonewalled in the middle by Royds. Diallo to back him up and send it forward in the direction of Johnson, to be gathered by Bloom. Bloom once more for Matos.
Good little
Matos
touch
the lead
there.
pass, Doherty, and Rodriguez saw it go past him. And the Taunton Tigers are on the board first here on Senior Day. It's 1-0.
Yeah, and Somerset's having a hard time maintaining possession in the offensive zone because they're dumping and chasing so much that they can't really maintain possession in the offensive zone, and everything is an easy breakout for Taunton.
And also, John, I noticed this season specifically, a common theme for the Raiders has been they're kind of like a slow starting team. You see in the first period, it takes a while for them to get their legs under them. Just like what happened against Plymouth North, they didn't show up to the beginning of the second period.
Raiders looking to show up much earlier in this one. Goal will be credited to Xander Doherty. That's his second of the season. Now Cashman.
See, and there's no pressure on the forecheck deep in the offensive zone for the Raiders, and they're just making it easy for these Taunton defensemen. They're making it really easy for these Taunton defensemen to get the puck to the wingers and the centers for an easy breakout. Like, there's no pressure from that first forward into the zone.
Yeah, Joey, and I agree with you because it's kind of like they skate hard to the puck. There's one man on the puck, and then it's just gliding and kind of trying to get your stick in the passing lane. But it's not really doing much against an aggressive team like Taunton right now.
Raiders will send back out the senior line as Diallo lays a bone-crushing hit as he sends it up the board. Now Bastos for Carter Sylvia. Carter Sylvia over the line looking to get it back to Bastos. Getting his stick in that passing lane was LaChance, and he'll send it forward. Now Cashman will gain blue and dump. Rodriguez to cut it off. Carter Sylvia, the backhand tap pass, couldn't find Bastos, and it's sent back below the Raider goal. Diallo, the spin cycle, trying to feed Carter Sylvia, kept it at the line. LaChance, that one looked like it got blockered away by Rodriguez. Cashman firing, and that one blocked. A lead pass, Carter Sylvia. Sylvia stalled at the top of the circle. Bastos looking to feed across, couldn't find McKenna. And
great
Rush.
look by Bastos there.
That one kept in by Valarelli, has his pocket picked by Diallo, and we have a penalty coming. Looking like the penalty's going to be on Adam Bastos, and it's going to be a trip.
I was just want to say his back check was actually pretty good there, I thought. It was a good shift by him. Sometimes your stick just gets caught up in the legs and you can't really do anything about it. I thought his back check was actually good there on that, though.
So already up 1-0, the Taunton Tigers going on the power play. Valarelli will be at center on this unit. Losing the draw at Camara, Raiders can't clear. That one hand passed forward by Noah Bloom. Easy whistle for the referee.
First, I didn't think they were going to call that. Looked like a little bit of a delay at first.
That's going to bring the draw all the way down to the other end in front of Luke Pellerin. Once again, it's Camara in on the draw. This time he loses it to Valarelli. LaChance goes across for Simmons. Taunton taking their time to set up as Simmons wraps it around. Drew Nato for Valarelli. Valarelli up top for LaChance. Keeping it in, LaChance. Back for Jamie Valarelli and back to LaChance. A nice give and go here to get the Raiders caught off guard, but nothing open yet. Valarelli wheeling. Going low for Bloom, a bad angle shot. Not sure if Rodriguez got it. Raiders looking to clear. Machado will send it out. LaChance on the restart, the dangle into the zone. LaChance cut off by Gonzalez, and the Raiders will tap it back to neutral ice.
Very good penalty kill by the Raiders so far, being very aggressive on the outside and making sure that when
the shot by Simmons got blocked on its way there, ended up at
they're
the
keeping
glass.
Taunton on the outside though. Very good job.
Pass across, Bloom up top, shot blocked. Gonzalez got it with the skate. Now send once more to the point. The chance for Valarelli. His quick shot is gloved by Rodriguez. Still 33 seconds left on this Taunton power play before we go back to even strength.
Yeah, Taunton didn't really get a lot of interior pressure there from inside the house, and the only thing that they were really getting was shots from the point and the outside, which weren't really great quality.
Carter Sylvia in on a dive after that draw. Ends up being pushed out to neutral ice by Diallo. Right in the chance. Gains red and sends it right to Rodriguez, who will make no mistake. I want to go back to that first goal by Taunton, Joey. I didn't get the best view on it from where I was at. Do you think it was just a matter of the shot being a great one from Doherty, or was it a fact that Rodriguez was caught off guard a bit?
I couldn't really tell by the angle, and it seemed like Rodriguez was ready for it. I just think that was a good shot. Maybe it got deflected. I couldn't really see from the angle we have since it was on the other end of the rink, but I thought it was just a good shot. But it looked like Rodriguez. Oh,
that was a risky bounce there off these end boards here at Alexio. Nearly ended up in the back of the net, but
I thought we were about to see a blooper there.
Indeed. Kamara on the chase. He's going to look to beat one. Kamara pushed off the puck by Bloom. Bloom.
Great play there by the Taunton defender.
On the gather, it's Doherty getting smacked from behind by Bastos. On the grab, it's LaChance for Matos. The dangle, he could not get by Diallo, and another whistle. Looks like this one for an injury timeout. Doherty was a little shaken up after the collision with Bastos.
That's a rough whistle, in my opinion. You didn't call it one. I don't know. That's an interesting whistle, in my opinion.
And I think Justin Kuchar agrees with you, Joey.
I mean, I think he had the ability to call the whistle when they just broke it out and Taunton still had possession, but then Somerset gets the possession right back, and he looked like he was about to give it to Adam Bastos, and
Yeah, I also don't understand the whistle there, and obviously I understand why Coach Couture would be a little bit upset there, but one player I definitely like to know is Noah Bloom on Taunton's defense. He's game in and game out, he just makes excellent defensive plays, especially in the Prenda Cup first round against Somerset a couple months ago.
6 minutes left in the first. Gonzalves to gather it below his goal. Gonzalves locked up with Braden Smith. Smith looking to get it back below goal, but Bastos getting in there to shovel it up the wall. That shot from the point blocked once more. Raiders have done that a lot here in the first. Dunderlane sends it around. Carter Sylvia feeds Adam Bastos on the breakout attempt. Bastos looking for McKenna. That one got cut off and sent back down.
And the support by these Taunton wingers and forwards is just so good. Somerset's having a hard time even getting through the neutral zone because of the Taunton support.
And another whistle with some pushing and shoving and yapping going on between these two squads.
Yeah, and so far through the first 10 minutes, I think the biggest thing I see is that the wingers for Somerset are having a hard time breaking out the puck. It seems like the defenders are getting it to them on the wall and stuff and getting the puck to the wall, but they just can't get it out of the zone after that.
Giella going up the wall for Rebello, shovels it out. Rebello on the chase. Couldn't beat Simmons to the puck. Valarelli, the lead pass. Nato back into the middle. Couldn't get it cleanly to Valarelli. Jamie Valarelli wheeling up top. His shot fluttering toward Rodriguez. A loose puck in front. Rodriguez makes a pad stop. Still loose. Rebello trying to get it out of harm's way. And another whistle, one of many here in this first period.
I think he lost the puck where the puck was, or the net came off.
I think the net was off.
Yeah, I think the net was off, yeah. I was confused on why they called it at first because I couldn't tell that the net was off.
Cashman's shot. Stop Rodriguez with the second chance. Also denied. Nato is stunned, I'm sure. Some nice physicality there by Lyons to make sure it's back out at center, and yet another whistle. This time it's going to be a penalty against Taunton.
Taunton's going to get a penalty here, but I just want to give Taunton a little bit of credit here. Their defensemen are doing so good on pinching and being aggressive in the offensive zone. The wingers are, I mean, the defensemen are no match for Somerset's wingers so far.
Penalty's going to go against Drew Nato. 2 minutes for slashing.
Yeah, that if the Raiders come back in this game, that save by Rodriguez there, that was key. But the Raiders need to maintain puck possession here. They can't hold the puck for longer than 5 seconds.
Gonzalez will look to feed McKenna. Bit of a miscommunication. Kamara to gather. Kamara tied up with LaChance. Carter Sylvia to help him out. Sylvia wheeling, tries to feed across. Kamara, it flutters right into the glove of Luke Pellerin. Raiders have Kamara, Sylvia, McKenna, Gonzalez, and Bastos out there as the 5. Pretty much their best 5 guys. Taunton gets the draw win, and on the move is Braden Simmons. Cut off. Raiders look for a response. Kamara, the shot, score! Gavin Kamara! And we are tied here in Taunton.
Great shot there by Gavin Kamara to beat him. It looked like low block aside, excuse me.
Kamara doing a great job there of using Taunton's defender to screen his shot to make it harder for Pellerin to get a read on it. And Kamara making no mistake, a big goal there for the sophomore. That's his first of the season.
I was gonna say, if there's any time he's gonna score his first of the season, it's like right now. That's a very significant goal for Somerset. Great shot selection.
Another near scare as Valarelli picks it up, and that one got blocked wide. And the net continuing to come off behind Gavin Rodriguez. The referees might want to check on the pegs underneath them.
Yeah, they might.
Nonetheless, a draw to Rodriguez is right about to come. Kamara will be back out there on the ice already with Rebello and Lyons. Lush trying to dig it out of his feet, able to tap it on the backhand for Rebello. Rebello trapped, turned it over. That one will not go. And it rattles all the way back into the Taunton defensive end. It's the captain, Braden LaChance, waiting for everyone to get set up. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain here in this first period.
There's going to be some more pressure. I mean, they got the 1-2-2 going, and there's just no pressure on that forward one. You can't just wait for him. You got to force him to go on his backhand and get him out of the back of the net.
LaChance couldn't get it past Rebello. Rebello had his shot blocked by LaChance. Digging his Lions. Lost it in his feet and taking it as Bloom. Noah Bloom, the send forward. Diallo knocked it down and it goes right to Matos. Jacob Matos couldn't evade Anthony Diallo. Here comes Diallo the other way, leading the charge. Lost the dangle, got it back, looking to send it in front. There was nobody home. On the grab, it's De Silva. Pushes it forward. Only one there to grab it was Bloom as De Silva continues his pursuit. Lloyd's in there as well as Matos comes away with it. And now we have a penalty coming against Taunton once more, so the Raiders already benefiting from some man advantage time will get yet another shot at it with only about 23 seconds separating the time of penalty and the time on the game clock.
Yeah, good job by Jake De Silva there to debate the penalty.
Yeah, you could see the ref eyeing LaChance there. You could kind of smell a penalty coming there. He just kept chipping away at the Somerset forward, and you just know he was going to the box there. A very undisciplined play.
And you know, if a ref is telling you to let off the brake a little bit, let off the brake, and he didn't. And, oh!
Valarelli nearly won a foot race to the puck there, but Bastos will come the other way. Adam Bastos, a blocker stop for Pellerin. Bastos to get it back mid-circle. Couldn't gather it before it went out. Here comes Gabe Gonzalez, and Carter Sylvia couldn't get
There's
back
got to be
on
some
side.
urgency. There's got to be some urgency there.
Yeah, I don't understand how Carter Sylvia didn't get on sides there. I mean, if he just turned his legs a little bit more, he had that all day, but I don't know what's going on there.
Face-off just in front of the Taunton bench. Gonzalez off the win will send it low. Carter Sylvia hustling to grab it. Up top for Bastos. Adam Bastis fakes the shot, steps in, and Pellerin got it with the mask. Carter Sylvia looking to dig in the corner, lost it off a hit, and Cashman to tap it for Valarelli. Jamie Valarelli looking to go by multiple Raiders, couldn't do it. Cashman to keep it in for the moment, it went just past him for Valarelli to retreat. And now Johnson will send it down. 1 minute remaining on the Raider power play, minute and 22 left in the period. Carter Sylvia going solo. Taps it to himself below goal. Sylvia is going to have to go and do battle with Mason Johnson. Him and Johnson end up in a melee there in the corner. I would assume maybe multiple penalties are about to come here. My, oh my, there is no love lost between these two foes.
Yeah, your cousin there pulled a flying squirrel move on a Taunton defenseman. I hope Carter's feeling okay, because this period for him has looked like he looks a little off. Like, look at his body language going to the box. He doesn't seem all there right now. I don't know. I hope he's just waking up still, but that was questionable.
Minute and 8 left in the period. We will be at 4-on-4.
Yeah, that was like a tackle football move right there.
We'll have 46
I
seconds
was
of
actually
4-on-4.
surprised to see that.
46 seconds of 4-on-4. And then the remainder of the period will be another Taunton power play that will carry over into the next. Or actually, my correction, it doesn't look like they're putting the penalty on the board and charging it to the Raiders. They're just going to charge it to Carter Sylvia. The Raiders have five guys out there.
No, they got him for, I believe, matching there. Matching penalties.
Matching, that's what it was.
Yeah, so because they already had a power play.
I only saw Carter go to the box. So
oh, no,
why.
they got another guy.
Yeah. Here comes Gavin Kamara looking for his second. Kamara going up top, McKenna. His shot, score! Cam McKenna right through the wickets of Pellerin. And the Raiders are in the lead.
Great screen there by Josh DeSilva there. Or Jake DeSilva, excuse me.
And Taunton's assistant coach is livid right now. He threw his hand up in the air. He thinks there was a missed call there, maybe a hooking or a slash right near the bench, but he was livid, and he's still letting his words fly right now.
Yeah, personally, I mean, we had a good angle on it. I definitely don't think it was goalie interference. I think it was just a good screen. McKenna shot it low, and it went right through the wickets.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think there was anything dirty there, but he's looking for something.
Lush tapping it off the board, cutting it off is Bastis, who will wrap it below goal. Only 30 seconds left in the period. It is 2-1. Somerset Berkley. Goals from Cam McKenna and Gavin Kamara. Xander Doherty has the one for Taunton. Nato puts it on the stick of Bastis, who puts it right to Pellerin for another save. And Joey and Mikey, I saw y'all talking about it while I was finishing that call there. There's a lot of chippiness going on right now. We might have to keep an eye on this. This could end up being a body bag type game if these guys aren't careful.
Yeah, number four is definitely getting under the skin of Somerset's players. He's doing a good job for Taunton to try to draw a penalty. Thing is, he's doing a little too much, and it's almost hurting his own team.
Braden LaChance, one of the Taunton captains. And Jamie Valarelli coming up. Valarelli for Nato. Shoveled it toward Rodriguez, loose puck. Somehow it didn't go in. 5 seconds. Bastis, the send down as the period comes to an end. After tons of physicality and shots and saves and power plays. But somehow we see a 2-1 result after one. As we rejoin you up top here at Alexio, Mike Yavs, Joey Frank, JJ Sylvia with you. And guys, that's some of the best hockey I've seen all year. Physicality, even play, and some great goals from both sides.
Yeah, personally, I mean, I thought Taunton controlled most of the game through the first period on 5-on-5. I think what hurt them was being in the box. Somerset capitalized on both power play opportunities they had, and had 2 straight goals. There wasn't a lot of movement on their power play. They just had 2 straight shots that really went in.
Yeah, and kind of reiterating what you said, Joey, they've done a great job capitalizing on the opportunities that they have. They haven't had a lot because Taunton has been controlling much of the offensive game, but I feel like an aspect of Taunton's game that they've always been really good at is trying to draw you into taking a penalty and retaliating. And if they can do that, if they can get under Somerset's skin, I feel like they can just load up these power plays and, you know, score off them and take the lead. But if Somerset could just stay calm and keep that, you know, a calm mindset right now, I think they'll be okay. But I think they got to up the physicality a little bit too.
Raiders and Tigers head into the locker room, and we head into our first intermission break. We'll see you in the second period. Don't go anywhere. Second period getting underway back here inside Alexio Arena. JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves, and Joey Frank along with you. A 2-1 Somerset Berkley lead after one period. Goals by Gavin Kamara and Cam McKenna for the Raiders, and then Xander Doherty for the Taunton Tigers, who, as we talked about in pregame and in the first period, trying to get Chris Mattia the all-time wins record in this game. But the Raiders, on the other side, they came in with a 7-6 record, gentlemen, playing this 9-3-2 Tigers team. This is a big, important game for them on their schedule. They need the win, not just for momentum purposes, but also for playoff implications as well. Senior lines back out there as we get set to go at center ice. Some beautiful sunshine coming through some of these windows here at Alexio on another cold day in the south part of Massachusetts. Bastis tried to send it out up the wall. It will be kept in and sent below goal. On the gather, it's Yellow. Lost it, but he'll get some help. Mason Mello able to nudge it forward. Taunton will have to regroup. That one tapped down, and on the chase for it is Valarelli. Jamie Valarelli wrapping below goal. Going up top with chance, the shot. Rodriguez, the save. Jacob Matos looking to battle for it. He's met by Lush, who couldn't get it out. Matos will wrap it once more underneath. Now it's Trunado. Looking to feed it for Valarelli. Lush won the race, and now Bastis trying to chip it out. Will put it up into the protective netting.
Good first minute for Taunton so far. Very hard on the forecheck.
Yeah, and Somerset's wingers were playing a little bit too low there. I think Taunton was getting really good shots from the point. And if they can continue to do that, I think with the poor net front coverage, they could definitely capitalize on an opportunity.
Another pad save for Rodriguez. That one up top for Cashman, putting it in directly wide. Braden Smith lost it against Kamara, and now Gonzalez going up for Lyons. Lyons looking to tap it out into neutral ice. Was looking in the direction of Rebello, but the Tigers intercept and send back. Mishandle by Gonzalez underneath. Logan Mendes to send it around. Rebello up ahead. That's Lyons. Chase Lyons. The dangle. Chase Lyons. Backdoor score! Second goal of the game for Gavin Kamara.
Second goal of the game and second goal on the season. Excellent play by Somerset there. That was one of the best plays I've seen them set up all year.
You know, and it's funny, when people talk about hockey, they always think that goals matter the most, but that assist there by Chase Lyons was unreal. That made the play right there, and he basically gave an empty netter to number 3 there, Gavin Kamara.
The Raiders are getting rowdy here in Taunton. What a game thus far. One of the better performances that I have seen from this hockey team all year long. Bastis on the zone entry, puts it toward Pellerin, who sticks it up and aside. Now Machado for Gonzalez, able to shovel it below goal for Bastis. Adam Bastis trying to get out of his feet. Lost it to Bloom, who couldn't get it out. Machado from the point, that one got blocked. McKenna for Sylvia low. Carter Sylvia out in front, a tip to Bastis. Somehow Pellerin kept it out. Here comes Valarelli the other way, looking to make some magic. Jamie Valarelli runs into a forest of Raider sticks. Valarelli and Carter Sylvia getting a little chippy below goal, as that one's put wide of Rodriguez. Another one in Rodriguez's direction that he pads aside before Gonzalez will send it down for a much-needed stoppage on the icing.
Ironically enough, I still think Taunton's done a better job, like most of the game, actually maintaining possession and getting pressure, but the off-rush chances for Somerset, they are just capitalizing on them.
Yeah, and way too many loose pucks for Somerset defensively here. I've always thought a problem Somerset has had within the past 2 seasons is their net front coverage, and it's looking kind of weak right now. I think they just need to get more bodies in front of the net to clear out the loose change in front of Rodriguez.
Camara, another draw win. He has been excellent in the face-off circle this season. Rebello couldn't get it out, but he'll get a second chance to do so. Still could not get past. Diallo will gain red and dump. The chance on the gather for Taunton. And now Valarelli looking to go up the wall. It's tipped, picked off, and Rebello had a shot at it, but could not put it on goal. Jamie Valarelli has so much speed and skill, but the Raiders have had an answer for every time he's come up the ice thus far in this one. Holding a young man who has nearly 20 goals already this season, scoreless thus far in this one. Rodriguez to cut it off below his goal. Diallo's going to have to battle. Getting help from Camara. Down the Camara comes out of the fray, puts it high off glass, and a fluttering puck will trickle down and give the Raiders a chance to get a change. 11:30 to go in the second. Still 3-1 Somerset Berkley. Valarelli looking to dangle. He's low and can't put it out in front with the net coming off. And Valarelli and LaChance are trying to argue that Rodriguez is intentionally kicking the posts off. What are you seeing here, gentlemen?
Yeah, I mean, it's happened a lot so far. I think like 3 or 4 times, but you know, it could be used as a strategy for Somerset.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure in the Prenda Cup final, this was a problem with Taunton's goalie. He kept pushing the net off the pegs, and eventually they gave 1 or 2 delayed game penalties to the Taunton Tigers.
Johnson trying to gather it on the wall. He'll be assisted by De Silva, and a whistle on the way. High stick is the call, and Gabe Gonzalez is heading to the box. So if you're Taunton right now and head coach Chris Mattia, this is a best case scenario. You're down by a couple of goals, but you got a power play here early in the second period that you need to cash in on.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they've controlled most of the game so far, even being down 2 goals. You got to capitalize here, you know.
It'll be Bastis, Sylvia, Lush, and Diallo as the 4 out there for the Raiders. Jamie Valarelli and his power play unit out there for Taunton. LaChance to keep it in at the line for Valarelli. The give and go, LaChance. The shot from the point, he was looking for a tip from Drew Nato and didn't get it. Carter Sylvia on the feed from Diallo will send it for LaChance to gather in his own end. The lead pass, Jamie Valarelli. And the speedy Tiger over the line, stopped by Rodriguez. That shot up top was tipped down by Valarelli. It went wide, back out in front, and Simmons is denied as well. Rodriguez got a small piece of it, and the net comes off again with more chippiness after the whistle. I gotta say, I know we say this is a rivalry all the time between these 2 schools, guys, but this is a rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, there is a lot of disdain and angst between these 2 squads.
Yeah, I'm still confused on why they call it blew the whistle.
I think it was just for the chippiness below goal, and the net came off again.
All right. Because I was gonna say, there's no way we're blowing the whistle just because of that with no penalty.
No, the net came off. So that's where the initial thing came from.
I didn't see that.
I think if it kept going though in the corner, they may have blown the whistle for it if they were still jostling with one another.
Yeah.
But Taunton's captains are going to plead their case as much as they can about how they feel the Raiders are committing infractions, but at the end of the day, the men in black and white stripes have final say. That one, off the draw win for the Raiders, ends up back out in neutral ice. Lead pass off the skate of Simmons. Now bouncing, Bloom will gather and retreat. Bloom for LaChance. Minute left on the Taunton power play. Lush to gather off the misfeed from LaChance, and Carter Sylvia will assist. Here come the Tigers again. Valarelli dangling, wrapping, cut off by Carter Sylvia. What a great defensive play. Sylvia reading that Valarelli was going to come around and go for the wraparound try. Cut him off right below goal. McKenna of the keep in and the send down. Bastos on the chase. Adam Bastos playing clock killer. Sends it up ahead for some reason to Simmons. He'll gather. And Rodriguez will cover. With the puck stuck in his glove.
Yeah, I know you mentioned this is a rivalry too, but just over the years, like I feel like Taunton is one of the most chippiest teams in the area. They'll do anything they can do to get under your skin, and I think they do a really good job at doing that.
A long history of winning across multiple sports and multiple seasons at Taunton High School. My fiance is from the area, and she always touted how great their softball team has always been. And I know their baseball team was just as good. Shout out Nick Notarangelo, a former Taunton Tiger baseball player who went to Endicott College with me. Cam McKenna's stick ends up on the ground, but it looks like it's going to be a penalty against the Raiders. And it is. A trip is the call, and McKenna is the culprit.
Yeah, I mean, when you know you're suffering a penalty, you got to pick up your stick immediately and get back into play. He's just sitting there complaining to the ref when he knows he's going to the box. It's just a waste of time there. You're basically giving your team a man down already when you don't need to. I mean, just get back into play.
Bastos will win that draw back to Machado, who will send it down. Taunton has Cashman, Smith, Mendes, Dunderdale, and Johnson out there as their 5 on this power play. On the move, it's Mendes over the line. Looks like an offside is called as Rodriguez snacks it. .8:47 to go in the period. 1:41 left on this Taunton power play. On the gather, it's Mason Johnson. Going up for Braden Smith over the line. Smith, the feed into the middle. Mendes, the tip goes to Dunderdale. He put it over the goal. Bastos trying to tip it out. It's kept in. Johnson for Cashman. His shot blocked partially by Gonzalez. It flutters over the goal. On the other side, it's Mason Johnson. A tough shot through traffic, trickling to Rodriguez, and stopped it. Gonzalez trying to get it out. Dunderdale will fire. Rodriguez sticks it away. Below goal, Jackson Dunderdale. For Johnson, Rodriguez with the blocker. Machado battling for it, puts it right on the stick of Smith. Braden Smith looking up top. Just a misdirected feed to Johnson there. Still 40 seconds left on the Taunton power play. Carter Sylvia looking to chase it down. He's got Valarelli charging in. He levels him up against the wall. Now Simmons going low. Valarelli. Valarelli in front. Nato couldn't put it on. Lush gets it out of his feet. Kept in at the line by Cashman before it goes off the skate of Valarelli and back to neutral ice. Taunton resetting. Nato off board. Valarelli going across. Nice connection. Cashman out in front. Rodriguez is toppled to the ground. No whistle yet. Still a loose puck with Valarelli grabbing it. He puts it into the skate of Gonzalez, and Gabe will clear. That'll go down for an icing, and my oh my.
I was pretty surprised there's no whistle there with Gavin Rodriguez being blanketed by Taunton's forward. But yeah, I mean, he's literally laying on the ground and the puck's like right in front of him, and they didn't blow the whistle. That was kind of funny, but
for the most part right now, Rodriguez looks like he's okay. 3-1 Raiders, less than 7 minutes to play in the period. Once again, Taunton not having much success in their man advantage opportunities, similar to the first period here in the second. Camara with some great forechecking slowed down the Taunton breakout a bit, so Diallo can slap it back below. Noah Bloom to grab it. Bloom having a hard time mishandling. Able to get it back on his stick. Noah Bloom had a tap from him by Kamara, but helping him out is Matos. Taunton having a hard time getting out of the zone right now. Pereira couldn't get it past the skates of Lions. Finally at neutral ice for Lush to send back. Tigers in need of a goal to start shifting the momentum back in their favor. The Raiders, their best case scenario is just to keep shooting and hope for the best. Any goals you can add on is great. No cushion is ever safe against this Tigers team, as we've learned in years past. Cam McKenna trying to get it in neutral ice. Nato takes it. Nato for Valarelli. Rodriguez the save. A loose puck nearly bounced to Simmons, but the Raiders come away. McKenna looking to feed it across for Vastus. Got knocked down. Vastus still being persistent on the forecheck nonetheless, chasing Valarelli. Vastus getting his stick in the passing lane there, slowed it down as it got to LeChance, and now sending it back in is Diallo. A ping-pong match over the last few minutes here in the middle of the ice. Valarelli, the dangle for Nato, the hesitation, and what a great defensive play by Gabe Gonzalez. Down on his belly to cut that off. Here comes De Silva. Gains red and dumps. His number partner, LeChance, will get it. LeChance, up board, cut off by McKenna. He'll tap it back for LeChance. LeChance, the feed for Nato. Tipped it up just a bit. And grabbing it for a shot and a save by Rodriguez is Logan Mendes.
This is sort of an Andy Berkley statement right now, but I really feel like the score is the way it is because simply the Raiders are capitalizing on the few opportunities they had. Taunton's had so many rebounds, so many scoring opportunities, they're just simply not capitalizing on them while the Raiders are. And they've had way more scoring chances than the Raiders, and I'd say borderline they're outplaying them for the majority of this game right now.
Yeah, I totally agree, Mike. I would say Taunton's outplayed them 90% of the game, to be honest. But yeah, I think it goes to show Gavin Rodriguez is playing really well.
Cooper Royd's on the dump in and he'll chase. Ooh. Royd's a heavy hit up against the wall. Yet another no call. At some point we have to question, gentlemen, with some of these no calls about safety. A move in, chance, they score! Braden Smith ignites a flame within the Taunton faithful.
And what a pass there, right? I mean, he just snuck by the defender. The pass was perfect, right near the blue line. And Gavin Rodriguez has done a very good job today. There's not much you can do about that. He just snuck it right behind his ear.
Yeah, the absolute perfect shot by the Taunton Tigers there. And Braden Smith, what a shot. I mean, there was not I don't think anybody's stopping that shot.
It is a one-goal hockey game once more. 3-2 Raiders. And two 11th graders are the ones scoring here for Taunton thus far on Senior Day. Noah Bloom emerges from below his own goal, looks to go up board on the chase, and moving in is Xander Doherty. He's going to be stopped by Lush. Lush able to nudge it out to center, went off the skate of Cashman and down towards Pellerin. 3.5 to play in this middle period. It is 3-2. Somerset Berkley. Rebello to send it once again into the Taunton end. We talked about how there's been a lack of opportunities at times for these two teams, especially in situations like we've seen in the later portion of this period, gentlemen, with just a ton of neutral zone play. As another whistle to come with another penalty, it looks like. At least at first glance, looks like some sort of penalty call, but I may be wrong. What'd you see, Joey?
I believe they're calling it too many men on Somerset, which I was very shocked because I only saw 4 people out there, and there were 2 right on the bench door. So I'm very confused on that call. But yeah, I mean, I guess they saw it better than I did.
Callan Forget will serve the penalty for the Raiders. Bastos won it back, but the only one to get there was Valarelli. Valarelli will tussle with Gonsalves. Bloom to help him. Bloom back for Valarelli. Bad angle. The backhander went off the side of the goal. Now Bloom for NATO. Taunton looking to change the script in a game where power play catch-ins have not been aplenty for them. Valarelli up top. LaChance lost it as he went to battle with Bastos, and Machado will get it up to Sylvia, who will send it in. About 30 seconds gone on this Taunton power play. One of multiple here in the second period. Carter Sylvia, some great forecheck, looking to run the race to the puck. And Sylvia had his stick grab. And there's going to be matching penalties?
The only penalty I can see him giving Carter is maybe embellishment. But I don't know. I don't know what he just gave him, but I didn't even think it was an embellishment type of call, but
I am at a loss for words.
yeah, it's definitely an interesting call there.
And Justin Kuchar is going to need quite the explanation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the referee bet the over tonight with penalties for the game. That's the only reason I can see Carter Silva go in the box. Carter's had great pressure, despite he's played, I feel like, at least 80% of this game. This kid's probably gassed right now, and his pressure has been excellent on this penalty kill, but that's ridiculous.
So they will give him matchings. Taunton still on the power play with 2 minutes left in the period, a minute left on that power play. Moving in front and unable to get his second was Braden Smith. Rodriguez denies him, and Gonsalves will clear. A game that has had all sorts of action, confusion, and even early whistles. .159 left here in the second period. Face-off coming to the right of Luke Pellerin. Bastos the win, Bastos the shot. Pellerin lost it, but it stays out. NATO to grab. Loose at mid-ice, Adam Bastos to steal. Bastos stopped by Pellerin. Now Simmons the other way for the Tigers. Simmons on the backhand will send it down. First one there was Machado. He'll get help from Gonsalves, who will wrap it off the glass. Keeping it in was NATO. Now Simmons. Below goal. Looking to get it to Braden Smith. Back for Simmons. Rodriguez able to pounce and cover. Everyone in this building on the edge of their seats right now. An absolute barn burner. I know I use this term a lot, boys, but I do believe it's true in this situation. This is a barn burner. This is exactly that dictionary definition of what a barn burner looks like.
Yeah, I definitely think you could say that for sure, John.
Camara winning yet another draw and yet another dump out for Somerset Berkley as we're back to even strength. Cam McKenna first on the forecheck is sandwiched between 2 Tigers and yet another no-call situation. Taunton looks to break out. Lead pass just a bit far in front of Valarelli. Lush to gather it just in front of his blue line. He'll go up ahead. Gavin Camara. Camara over the line looking for the Hattie. Was trying to feed it middle. Nobody home. Johnson on the clear. Here comes Valarelli. He's cut off by Lush. And it's back at neutral ice with Bloom, who sends it onto the stick of Diallo. 30 seconds to go in the period. Diallo across ice. Couldn't find Camara. That's down for an icing.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be an interference call against Gavin Kamara there. That's why I thought the whistle was, but it was obviously just an icing. But maybe, yeah, you can see the refs talking right now. Maybe they're watching out for, like, you got to wonder when they're going to start upping the calls, because it's kind of been, like, their calls have been underwhelming with the amount they should have called.
Valarelli, the draw, went up top of the block by Royds. He's going to come in on a breakaway. Cooper Royds, score! Listen to this crowd!
Giant penalty kill goal there for Somerset. That's great cushion going into the last period to help the momentum for him.
The second goal of the season for Cooper Royds.
And excuse me, sorry. You go.
It couldn't have come at a better time, is what I was going to say. Bastos, the gathering neutral ice, and here comes Adam Bastos. His shot looks like it got blocked. 10 seconds left in the period. Taunton trying to get it out. They will. On the move is Valarelli. Picks it away from Royds, gets hit off the puck by Diallo. 1 second left in the period, and the clock strikes triple zeros. We conclude the second period of play with Somerset Berkley leading 4-2 over the Taunton Tigers as we rejoin you up top. Gentlemen, yet another action-packed period. Both coaches have, I'm sure, some positives and some negatives to talk about in the locker room. What do you think the message is from Mattia for Taunton, Joey?
Personally, I would say keep doing what you're doing. I know it's 4-2, but all of Somerset's opportunities and goals have came off the rush. I thought they've outplayed Somerset for at least 85% of this game. But I don't know, they're not getting good bounces off the rush, and Somerset's capitalized, you know?
And Mikey, let's put you in Justin Kucher's shoes. You're in an ideal spot right now if you're the Raiders, but you have to seal the deal in this upcoming third period.
Yes, exactly. I mean, just keep playing the way they are. They're playing great right now. Maybe hold on to the puck a little bit more with more puck possession. But Diallo, like a play like that, massive hit at the end of the period. Now this team goes into the third period with just a little bit more momentum, and you can obviously, at the end of the period, you see Taunton slamming their helmets down, and the frustration is obviously getting to them. So Taunton's got to up the physicality. I think Somerset's just got to continue to chip away and play the way they're playing, because every opportunity they have that's solid, it seems like they're capitalizing on.
If you're watching on any of our three platforms, do not turn your television, your cell phone, your tablet, your computer off. This third period is one you will not want to miss, and we will be with you when it begins here on Somerset Access TV, Berkeley Community Access TV, and Blue Raider Studios. Second period over, third period about to begin here in Taunton, Massachusetts, inside Alexio Arena. JJ Sylvia, Mike Yalves, and Joey Frank back with you. 4-2 Raider lead. Arguably one of the best hockey games we've seen between these two schools.
Yeah, it's only going to get better in this last third period.
On the chase, it's Bastos. Trying to hit Bloom off the puck. Bloom able to come away with it, but he caught an edge. Bastos coming in to grab the puck. Bastos out in front. Trying to feed Carter Soviet. Got picked off by LaChance. Valarelli to send it in and chase it. Nato will be in first. Valarelli to gather. Jamie Valarelli going up top, Bloom, and that bobbling puck will be sent below goal by Valarelli. Interception by Braden Simmons, but his shot blocked. Puck loose on the side of Rodriguez. It gets stick to the corner, and Carter Soviet trying to go off board. Watches it go up into the roof. Last matchup between these two teams, Prenda Cup semifinal, a 6-2 win for Taunton in that one. A much different look in this game today than we saw last time out, as this rivalry is once again renewed. Gonzalves off glass for Rebello, and now Lyons. Chase Lyons will dump after gaining red. Grabbing it on the other side is Kamara, already with 2 goals in this game. Kamara for Rapello, and then it skips to Lyons, who couldn't get it on. It was blocked by LaChance. On the send-in, gathering it is Bloom. He'll tap it up the board for Dunderdale, who will lead pass it. And now Logan Mendes over the line. His shot blocked. That one never had a shot as Machado was right in front of it. Wheeling high, circle and a shot. That one stopped by Rodriguez. Another chance. Will not go after that initial fire from Mendes. LaChance will keep it in at the line. Taunton looking to get set up, but the Raiders getting sticks in passing lanes. Gonzalez will go off board to neutral ice. Raiders will get a couple new legs on as LaChance looks to dangle in. He couldn't get by Machado. Jake De Silva to chase a loose puck in neutral ice. De Silva, the dangle, able to get by Cashman, looking to tap it out in front. Went off the stick of Jacob Matos. Now Jason Cashman over the line will dump it in. A few minutes gone in this third and final period, and yet again, much like the start of the last 2 periods, a bit of a feeling out period at the start as these 2 teams try to establish dominance over one another in a very physical, hard-fought game this afternoon. And we're so glad you could all join us on any of our feeds. After the Diallo dump, Mason Johnson on the gather. He lost it. De Silva on goal. Pellerin the stop, and the follow-up will be pushed aside by Pellerin. Tigers will clear, but it will go all the way down for an icing.
Yeah, going back to what I said in the first period, just kind of reiterating it, I want to see the Raiders finish their checks more. Mason Johnson had a decent check there, but it didn't look like he hit him as hard as he really should have. And I don't know, I just feel like there needs to be more emphasis on the physicality here for the Raiders to hold off this lead.
Justin Kuchar sends the senior group back out there. Bastos for Sylvia. Up top, Diallo. His shot, pad stopped by Pellerin. Carter Sylvia looking to go below goal. Only one there was Valarelli. He'll go up the wall for Nato. Nato trying to evade Bastos, gets it away to Johnson. Mason Johnson up the wall, he finds Valarelli. Jamie Valarelli, the zone entry and shot. Rodriguez the save. Lush digging in the corner for the puck. Getting help from Carter Sylvia. Sylvia trying to get away from Nato. Will nudge it all the way down, heading towards Pellerin, but it'll go just wide for an icing. And gentlemen, despite the score we see on the board, there's a lot of credit to be given to both goaltenders tonight. Whether you look at Taunton's side with Pellerin or on Somerset Berkley DRC Conch side with Gavin Rodriguez.
Yeah, I think Gavin's been feeling himself today. He's feeling really good in the net.
Carter Sylvia looked to tap it forward for Bastos, who couldn't tap it forward for himself. Sylvia in on the forecheck. Sylvia staying with it. Ends up getting tied up with Cashman, who gets it away to Johnson. Mason Johnson in his own end, going up the board for Simmons, who will dribble it down towards Gavin Rodriguez. He'll cover. Just a hair under 11 minutes remaining in this contest. A 4-2 Raider lead. 3 different goal scorers in Kamara, McKenna, and Cooper Royd's the most recent. An electric breakaway goal off a blocked shot from the point. And some more pressure up top by the Raiders. And here comes Kamara seeking that hat trick. Couldn't dangle through the thicket. On the move the other way, it's Mendes. He's cut off by Machado. Now at neutral ice, it's Kamara. Coming away with it is Diallo. Anthony Diallo broke his stick. He'll have to go get a new one as LaChance prances forward for the Tigers. Braden LaChance, the dangle as he gains blue, looking to put it on goal. Not sure if it got blocked or went up, but a penalty is coming. Looking like the penalty will be against Braden LaChance.
And I think that's his second or third penalty of the game. It's at least his second.
Yeah, he had that previous penalty, I believe, in the first period when behind the net the ref was looking to call something because it was getting chippy, and he just, I don't know, that he blatantly tried to get a penalty there, and he's just adding to the problems for this Taunton Tigers team right now.
Chris Matea really thinking and deliberating with the official right now. Wants to get a clear understanding of what's going on here. Not sure Matea is going to like whatever the response will be. As we get set to go again with a face-off to the left of Luke Pellerin, let's quickly talk about one of the...
Yeah, and I think that was his third look at the box. I think that's his third of the game. Why are they putting somebody else in there?
I think because that would cause a misconduct, would it not? Yeah.
I think that's his third of the game.
But no, as I was saying, let's talk about Gavin Kamara. Had 0 goals coming into this game, but is teeter-tottering near a hat trick right now. Really impressive performance for him to get his second half of the season going, Joey. Back in neutral ice, it's Nato. Retreating in his own end, looked to go up board for Simmons, but Gonzalez's the one that sends it in the other direction before Bloom sends it off one of his guys. Gonzalez to grab it, looking to feed Carter Sylvia. It'll end up skipping to Carter anyway. He'll turn around and head up ice. Sylvia, the dangle by 1, couldn't fully get by 2. He was cut off just enough to cause an offside. Under 10 to play in the game. It is winning time here at Alexio. Every single inch is going to be hard fought and won. Valarelli off the turnover, couldn't finish it. Rodriguez standing tall. Here comes Rabello the other way. Lucas Rabello pivoting. He'll go for Royds, Cooper Royds. That one high and wide. Now it's De Silva looking into the middle. Royds, the backhander. It was a bobbling puck, so not much that he could do. Taunton's looking for a penalty call. Looks like they might have one called against them now. Rodriguez heading to the bench. Rabello looking in front for De Silva. Simmons cut it off. And that will bring on a 2-man advantage. Going to be a cross check there. And Nato was not happy.
Yeah, I never really got the idea of yelling at the ref after getting a penalty. Like, you're just going to make the situation worse for yourself, so...
Yeah, not even that, Joey. Once you say that, the more you argue with the ref and the more they're going to recognize you and try to call you out for... they're going to get more and more strict with one player specifically that complains because, I'm sure these refs have biases and they're going to, have enough of the BS at one point and just start calling calls on one player specifically more than anybody else is what I'm trying to say. But
yeah, they're going to focus on the BS for sure, the big stuff. Definitely. Got to call the big stuff the rest of the way. Kamara in on the draw. Yet another win for Gavin. That one put toward goal by Gonzalez. Carter Sylvia couldn't get a tip as it went wide. Bastos across. McKenna had a hard time gathering it. Nato will gather and send it for Valarelli. Trying to gather it off the skate. He'll tip it away from Gonzalez and go to chase. Valarelli checking Gonzalez to the side, but Rodriguez will come up and help the Raiders move forward. Bastos across for Gavin Kamara. Gaining speed. Gives it to Sylvia. Carter Sylvia just over the goal. Maybe Pellerin got a piece with the stick. Bastos going low for Sylvia. Carter Sylvia working in the corner against Valarelli. Sylvia getting by Nato. Carter Sylvia up top. Gonzalez off the post. Sylvia feeding Gonzalez again. His slap shot is blockered away by Pellerin, and a whistle to come with more chippy play. We got two Raiders down on the ice right now in pain, Gonzalez and Carter Sylvia. My goodness, it's a melee out here. And Justin Kucher's now standing on the ice. He's had just about enough of this, Joey.
Yeah, Taunton's definitely up the physicality since these penalties, and they're not really helping their situation whatsoever. It looks like they might get another play in the box. I'm not fully sure.
Yeah, that was great sportsmanship, by the way, by Noah Bloom, number 27. He helped out one of the down Raiders there, but it seems like Taunton's, at this point, they've completely abandoned ship and are just trying to blow this game because they're just trying to get to the box. You still got 8 minutes to go, and you're only down 2 goals, and they seem to be certainly letting the frustration get ahead of them.
We're going to take a short break as these two teams take a breather, and hopefully the temperature can cool down in this arena. We'll be right back. Back out of our short break. JJ Sylvia, Joey Frank, and Mikey Alves along with you. And 8:09 remaining after a bunch of conversations and a bunch of physicality. The Raiders are going to have a 2-man advantage for about 3/4 of the remainder of this game. They'll either be on a 2-man advantage or a power play. A 5-minute penalty assessed to Xander Doherty as that one's put toward goal. Sylvia tipped it wide of Pellerin. Now McKenna for Bastos, score! Adam Bastos! And is it the nail in the coffin? That's the question.
Yeah, and that's the consequence Taunton gets for losing their heads at the end of the day. You know, I thought they outplayed Somerset most of this game, but when you're in the box most of the third period, you're not going to help your case on making a comeback.
Exactly. What do you possibly expect? Like, you were just your chances of winning the game down 2 and just constantly going to the box are probably 0%, honestly, trying to tie this game playing this way. But excellent look by Cam McKenna there. That was an excellent look. As Joey said, these assists are kind of, they might be underappreciated because the Raiders have just had awesome playmaking ability tonight.
It is 5-2, and yet another whistle, looking like this one was for a redo on the draw.
Yeah, we finally got a goal that's not really off the rush, too, you know. Most of the goals we saw tonight were a lot of, off-rush chances. Finally, Somerset got some ability to move the puck on the power play and got one.
Kamara, another draw win. Gonzalez's shot is blocked by Valarelli. They'll have to chase each other down to get that puck, and somehow Adam Bastos, out of nowhere, will come to grab it. Bastos for Carter Sylvia over the line. Sylvia behind the back. Kamara, now McKenna the shot. Pellerin the save, the rebound chance. And the play will be blown dead. Carter Sylvia's down again. Goodness me, the referees have to get this game under control.
Yeah, and Taunton's going to lose their best player, who, in my opinion, played a really good game. Although it's 5-2, I thought Valarelli played a very physical game, but sadly, it got him booted out of here.
And I'm not going to lie to you, gentlemen. Having spoken to a lot of the players on this team this year, this win, if they can get it, is going to be huge. And when I say huge, I mean huge for this squad. It's going to help with momentum. It's going to help with confidence. Everything has been working for the Raiders tonight. This can be one of those catalyst games that completely changes the trajectory of Somerset Berkley's season.
Yeah, and we talked in the pregame, John, about how the Raiders have won the last 4 out of the last 5. You know, 5 out of your last 6 going into the back half of the year is huge going into playoffs, you know? And that, hopefully you can carry that momentum throughout the back half of the season.
Yeah, and also, John, like you said, I mean, it's been night and day, the difference from the first round of the Prenda Cup game to this game right now. It's just, these two teams it's like they're polar opposites from the Prenda Cup. And so much has changed, as you've said.
A 5-minute penalty assessed to Jamie Valarelli, and also worth noting, Drew Nato has been ejected from the game. He just exited the Taunton bench and headed to the locker room, so that's pretty much going to be the end of his night. And actually, they're going to change the penalty now. It's going to be a 2-minute assessed to Drew Nato, and that was his last one, so he's called for the misconduct fully. He's out of the game for the rest.
So, why did Valarelli get booted?
I believe they originally put 8 up on the scoreboard for the penalty, so I thought it was Valarelli, but then they changed it to Nato.
But he left too. Valarelli left too. So
oh, he did? So they might have ejected him too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think that they got the number wrong originally. Yeah.
They ejected right after that hit against Carter. Like Carter Sylvia, they got rid of him.
Well, Taunton's down some of their best guys due to ejections. And what's bad is getting worse for the Tigers. Rebello battling. And somehow they'll get help to win that battle from De Silva. Jake De Silva against Cashman. A physical battle there. No call. Lions up for Royds. Going back for Lions. Jake De Silva's missing one of his gloves right now in front of the net as that shot by Royds is blocked, and looking to clear it, and able to do so is Mason Johnson. Two different penalties up on the board. Roughly around 4 minutes left in both of them, with a little bit of a difference between. Cooper Royds going across, that's Bastos. Adam Bastos, stopped by Pellerin. Bastos slowing it down. Gets it back across, put it behind Carter Sylvia. Sylvia to regather. Up top, the shot. Pellerin, another save. That one off his mask, too. And just out to center, off the stick of Cashman, for Royds to gather. Cooper Royds going back for Carter Sylvia on the zone re-entry. Raiders have all the time in the world and a lead aplenty. Pellerin the stop. Sylvia the rebound. Score! You can count on Carter.
Yeah, and Somerset's getting their graveyard goals in right now.
The 4th goal of the season for Carter Sylvia.
And such a chippy, I think we could say dirty game from Taunton. You know the Raiders are going to try to run up the score as much as possible just to rub salt to the wound. But
so back to center ice we go. 6:16 remaining in the game. Both penalties still up on the board as they were majors. Rodriguez to gather it below his goal.
boys, I was being honest. That's probably what I said. I mean, I don't really care.
Another stop for Pellerin. Wheeling, but unable to find any passing lane as it's back out at center was Logan Mendes. Under 6 to play. Tigers only have 3 guys out on the ice. Mendes, Nato, and Bloom. Raiders in the driver's seat. 6-2 lead. Gonzalez from the point, score! And it's an onslaught here in the third period. Six different goal scorers in this game for Somerset Berkley. And I don't think Taunton even has a prayer at this point, gentlemen.
Yeah, they're just burying them at the end of the day. Again, we said it earlier, they're not going to win games by playing the back half of the third period 3-on-5, you know? Simple as that.
All the Raiders on the bench right now. It's clear to see, even from up here, grinning from ear to ear. Rodriguez to steer that one aside. Diallo to gather. With this win, the Raiders are going to go to 8-6. And remember, boys, they still have that undefeated 4-0 record in the South Coast Conference that we need to always be aware of, because winning your conference is also one of those things that can help you when you look towards rankings in the state tournament. Under 5 to play. A nice hit at mid-ice there by Simmons. It was well clean as he knocked down Michael Landry. Cashman lost it below goal. Landry coming in with De Silva. De Silva getting it up top, Diallo. Anthony Diallo the shot. Pellerin the save. Cashman on the move, solo for the Tigers. Cashman couldn't get the dangle around Diallo. Anthony Diallo has been a stone wall, Joey, on the back end defensively tonight for the Raiders.
Yeah, Gavin's been great so far, and he's been unreal.
Diallo, someone who's been plagued by injuries in his high school career, but has made the most of his playing time as one of the top defensemen for first-year head coach Justin Kucher.
Excuse me, I thought you were talking about Gavin Rodriguez for a second. I didn't hear you on that.
It's all right, Joey. An offside's called here. And Mikey, this has to be a real tough blow for the Taunton Tigers, about to suffer their 4th loss of the season, and against a team that I'm sure Chris Mattia's boys came into this one thinking they could probably beat.
Yeah, and especially like you mentioned before the game, that record, that all-time win, that record for Taunton coach is just, like, I'm sure they came in with an extra fire lit under them, but obviously it did not turn out how it's supposed to go at all. And also going back to Gavin Rodriguez, I have to wonder if his change in play this season is because of his job security being in jeopardy last year. You remember Minash and him were going back and forth. It's like, who do you start, the hot hand? This year, Rodriguez is like, nah, I'm taking the job and I'm staying here. So respect to him.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me of a Olmark and Swayman type situation for sure. But Rodriguez, I got to coach him a little bit in the fall. He was a reserve practice player for our Providence Capitals U18 Platinum team, and I got to see just how much better he got over the summer. All that muscle that he's put on from getting ready to be a college lacrosse player has really helped him out. He was committed to Maine Maritime, I believe, was where he was going to go to play college lacrosse. I don't know if he's decommitted or changed his commitment since then, but Gavin's an athlete, and he's showing it in between the pipes today. Justin Kucher digging into his bench now with the Raiders still up on a 5-on-3. That one nearly kept in by Lush, but he'll have to backtrack and gather it at center ice. One of the penalties is done for Taunton. Not much will change, though, due to the circumstances of said penalty that ended. Digging below goal is Royds. As Jake Galligan tries to get it out, it's kept in, and a shot from the point is stopped by Pellerin as he denies Andrew Mandeville.
Yeah, and I'm sure during that break where they were figuring out all the penalties and stuff, Coach Couture called his team over. I'm sure at this point he's just emphasized very clearly to, just keep your heads up and stay safe for the rest of this game, because, you don't want any injuries from getting blindsided from, the opposing team. So I know he's emphasized that, but.
Do you think there's been any emphasis, Joey, from Chris Mattia on the bench about maybe limiting some of the physicality for Taunton?
I mean, in these moments you want to keep playing. Personally, as a coach, I'd rather see my team keep playing physical and, do it right. Don't be dirty about it. But I'd say keep on the gas. You want to leave this game with pride still.
Coming away with it and out of his own end is Cashman. He has his pocket picked by Bastis. Adam Bastis lost the dangle. Getting a stick in there was Mason Johnson. Here come the Tigers the other way. That shot by Matos is stopped by Gavin Rodriguez. 2 minutes and 21 seconds left to go. A 7-2 Somerset Berkley lead in an absolute, utter display of dominance against a team that has really at times had their number the past few years. And it seems somewhat ironic to me, gentlemen, that with all of the great teams that Somerset Berkley has had over the last few years, not to dog on this current team, but the fact that this team had such a dominant win against Taunton really goes to show what type of effect Justin Kucher is having in his first season. Under 2 minutes to play. Raiders trying to play clock killer, and Tigers looking to save some face. Mason Johnson putting that one on. Rodriguez will glove it down for Machado to gather, and it will be sent all the way down the length of the ice by Shane Pimentel. That's an icing.
And another thing I appreciate and respect so much about this Raiders team is usually you see they start so hot to start the season. This year is the polar opposite. They were eliminated in the first round, didn't make the Prenda Cup final for the first time since 2006, and you see them just rebound and improve to an 8-6 team when I'm pretty sure they started the season like 1-2 and 1-3. So it's very impressive turnaround by this Raiders squad.
90 seconds to play. As I was mentioning earlier, Raiders are going to go to 8-6 with this win. Taunton Tigers are going to drop to 9-4-2. And this could be a game that could have big implications for both teams' seasons. But if you're head coach Chris Mattia, Joey, you need to find a way to pull your Tigers out of their own heads after a game like this so it doesn't affect the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to discipline at the end of the day. Like, that's something that can be talked about and, teach, but at the end of the day, you just got to be more disciplined. Stay out of the box. I thought they actually played a pretty decent game. Personally, I don't think Somerset dominated them at all. I thought Taunton played a lot in the box. I thought that's what really killed them. I mean, this was a 4-2 game with 8 minutes to go, and a game that Taunton controlled most of it, personally, from my point of view. But
final 30 seconds, Rodriguez, another save, and cover up with 33.3 to play. And we've been praising the Somerset Berkley Raiders a lot. What's some positives that you guys saw from the Taunton Tigers today, despite all the adversity they had to face?
Personally, I thought they did a great job on the forecheck. They do a very good job on the walls, too. Their wingers and their F2 and their F3 in their zone support the puck very well. And they're strong, they're strong and they're physical. I thought they played actually a pretty decent game besides their discipline. That's really what killed them in this game.
Carter Sylvia trying to take Matos off the puck. He put that one wide of Rodriguez. 10 seconds. Matos loose in the slot. Couldn't backhand it on goal. Raiders will clear it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the Raider faithful rise to their feet with a rousing applause. Somerset Berkley has won a humongous victory here against the Taunton Tigers. Final score 7-2. And this, gentlemen, just might be the thing that changes the Raiders' season for the better. What do you think, Joey? What do you think is the outlook now with this win?
Personally, I still think you got to build on some things. They did a great job capitalizing on the opportunities that they were given, that's for sure. The power play obviously looked good. I'd like to see a little bit more lateral movement within the power play. I noticed that they got a lot of shots on, but they also had a lot of shots that missed the net. You got to build on the things you did good and fix the things you did wrong. They spent a lot of time when they were on 5-on-5 in their own zone. You got to watch the film and go through that and see what you can do better. I'd like to see them be a little stronger on the walls amongst their wingers and stuff. But you take this win and you're happy about it and you build on it.
And Mikey, let's talk a bit about Chris Mattia now. His mentality is going to have to be really important because you have Dartmouth if you're Taunton in your next game on Monday. It's not going to get any easier.
Yeah, Dartmouth is never an easy team to play at all. And, I honestly feel like they played a decent game tonight. It just came down to, again, disciplines. They threw the game away from themselves, but their breakouts were very clean. Taunton had very clean breakouts compared to Somerset, who were struggling most of the game gaining zone entry. Besides those few opportunities they had on breakaways and odd man rushes, that's where most of Somerset's goals came from, is just capitalizing on their opportunities. But yeah, Taunton shouldn't really keep their head down. They still played strong. Again, they just discipline. That's all I have to emphasize.
Well, you saw it happen here, folks. The Raiders come in and spoil Taunton's senior day today here at Alexio Arena. And that'll do it for all of us here. For my partners, Mike Yalves and Joey Frank, as well as our cameraman, Brian Moniz, I'm JJ Sylvia, wishing you a good rest of your weekend from here in Taunton. Stay warm.